What are the major problems with consuming animal products? What impact does it have on our health?
It promotes disease. There's an 18-year study on over 75,000 individuals that showed that those people who ate the most animal protein had a fourfold increase in, I want to make sure. I'm going to hold on one second. I got to check something because I want to make sure I'm giving you the right information. So in a really important landmark study over 18 years, the study showed that those individuals who ate the most animal protein had a 400% increase, a fourfold increase in cancer mortality, saying cancer incidence and mortality, and over a 75% higher risk of dying prematurely. So it is crystal clear that animal protein is disease promoting in humans. And, you know, some listeners out there may be going, wait, why is that? That doesn't make sense to me. So I try to get at this by asking a simple question. I show people a picture of an elephant, a cow, and I don't know, a rhino or giraffe. And I say, what is a natural diet for those animals? And people say plants. I'm like, okay, that's true. When is the only time in their life that they eat animal protein? About 2/3 of the respondents will say never. And I say, I want you to stop and think about it. When do they eat animal protein? And then light bulbs start to go off and they say, oh, when they're nursing, when they're drinking their mother's milk, it's filled with animal protein. And that is true. And that's because for plant-based animals, animal protein is a growth signal. It turns on a suite of genes called mTOR genes that promote growth. They promote cell division and growth, and they also limit cell death, so that the overall net effect is that a small animal gets bigger. Animal protein, as it passes through the liver, also stimulates the liver to start cranking out higher levels of a hormone called IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor 1, which also tells the body cells to grow, get bigger. Well, those are all wonderful things if you are a baby, because you want to grow and you want to get bigger. But as an adult, your cells are not supposed to be growing. They're supposed to be steady state and quiescent and only divide if there's damage to repair. But if you start hitting these cells with these growth signals and they really can't grow, what they can do is turn into tumors. And a lot of those tumors are benign tumors, which is why people have lipomas, cysts, skin tags, moles. All of this comes from stimulating cells to try and grow when they're not supposed to. But they also do cause some of these cells to turn, frankly, cancerous because they've been, cancer is unregulated cell growth. And that's why animal protein is associated with this fourfold increase in cancer risk. But in addition, they also disrupt our metabolism in ways that increase inflammation, that lead to heart disease, hypertension, and a whole host of other problems that can be kind of classified as the metabolic syndrome, which is deranged metabolism that, again, ultimately promotes chronic disease. And animal diets that are high in animal foods have also been shown to alter brain metabolism or brain chemistry in ways that ultimately result in an increased risk for dementia. And this all comes from eating foods that our bodies are not designed to handle. So animal foods are very, very damaging to human health and physiology.
What diet do the long-term unbiased studies on large groups of people show is the best diet to prevent disease and increase lifespan?
Sure. Well, I alluded to this in an earlier answer when I talked about the blue zone data. where researchers looked at the longest lived populations and healthiest, I should say, populations around the world. Because clearly you don't want to just look in one place because there could be, unknown factors that are causing it. So they look different populations who are genetically different, who live in different circumstances, different places around the world. But the consistent factor that emerged were that the populations who lived the longest and had the lowest risk for chronic disease and dementia and disability were the people that were more plant-based. And it was really on a continuum, meaning that the more plant-based a population became, the lower their disease risk, the lower their premature death and disability, the lower their risk for dementia. And the end result was that the longest lived population amongst the Blue Zone groups were vegan and vegetarian Seventh-day Adventists in Southern California living in the Loma Linda area. So it is very clear. The data is very consistent, showing that it is a plant-based diet that promotes the best overall health. And then there are literally hundreds of thousands of smaller studies that look at the impact of plant foods on lipid metabolism, on reducing inflammation, on a number of different physiologic pathways that help shed light on the reasons why plant-based diets reduce disease and promote longevity. So not only do you have sort of the big picture, macroscopic picture that, oh, well, we see populations around the world who eat mostly plants do better. Well, when you start looking at the scientific data and studies that look at the physiological reasons for that, it helps explain why these plant-based diets are so important for reducing that disease risk and promoting the longevity.